Verses from the Bible on the return of Jesus Christ, as seen in the Gospels. The Book of Matthew. Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravenous wolves. Matthew 7:15. For what shall a man be profited if he gains the whole world, but forfeits his soul life? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul life? For the Son of Man is to come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and then he will repay each man according to his doings. Matthew 16:26-27. And as he sat on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him privately, saying, "Tell us, when will these things be? And what will be the sign of your coming, and of the consummation of the age?" Matthew 24:3. And Jesus answered and said to them, "See that no one leads you astray. For many will come in my name, saying, 'I am the Christ,' and they will lead many astray." Matthew 24:4-5. And you will be hearing of wars and rumors of wars. See that you are not alarmed, for it must happen, but the end is not yet. For nation will rise up against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there will be famines and earthquakes in various places. All these things are the beginning of birth pangs. Matthew 24:6-8. Then they will deliver you up to tribulation, and will kill you, and you will be hated by all the nations because of my name. And at that time many will be stumbled, and will deliver up one another, and will hate one another. Matthew 24:9-10. And many false prophets will arise, and will lead many astray. And because lawlessness will be multiplied, the love of the many will grow cold. But he who has endured to the end, this one shall be saved. Matthew 24:11-13. And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in the whole inhabited earth for a testimony to all the nations, and then the end will come. Matthew 24:14. Therefore, when you see the abomination of desolation, which was spoken of through Daniel the prophet, standing in the holy place, let him who reads understand. Then let those in Judea flee to the mountains. Let him who is on the housetop not come down to take the things out of his house, and let him who is in the field not turn back to take his garment. Matthew 24:15-18. But woe to those who are pregnant and to those who are nursing babies in those days. And pray that your flight may not be in winter, nor on the Sabbath. For at that time there will be great tribulation, such as has not occurred from the beginning of the world until now, nor shall by any means ever occur. And unless those days had been cut short, no flesh would be saved. But on account of the chosen, those days will be cut short. Matthew 24:19-22. At that time, if anyone says to you, "Behold, here is the Christ," or "Here," do not believe it. For false Christs and false prophets will arise, and will show great signs and wonders, so as to lead astray, if possible, even the chosen. Matthew 24, 23-24. Behold, I have told you beforehand. Therefore if they say to you, "Behold, he is in the wilderness," do not go forth. "Behold, he is in the inner rooms," do not believe it. For just as the lightning comes forth from the east and shines to the west, so will the coming of the Son of Man be. Wherever the corpse is, there will the vultures be gathered together. Matthew 24, 25-28. And immediately after the tribulation of those days, the sun will be darkened, and the moon will not give its light, and the stars will fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens will be shaken. And at that time the Son of Man will appear in heaven, and then all the tribes of the land will mourn, and they will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. Matthew 24, 29-30. And he will send his angels with a loud trumpet call, and they will gather his chosen together from the four winds, from one end of the heavens to the other end. Matthew 24, 31. But learn the parable from the fig tree. As soon as its branch has become tender and puts forth its leaves, you know that the summer is near. So also you, when you see all these things, know that it is near, at the doors. Matthew 24, 32-33. Truly I say to you that this generation shall by no means pass away until all these things happen. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words shall by no means pass away. Matthew 24, 34-35. But concerning that day and hour, no one knows, not even the angels of the heavens, nor the Son, but the Father only. Matthew 24, 36. For just as the days of Noah were, so will the coming of the Son of Man be. For as they were in those days before the flood, eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day in which Noah entered into the ark, and they did not know that judgment was coming, until the flood came and took all away, so also will the coming of the Son of Man be. Matthew 24, 37-39. At that time, 2 men will be in the field, one is taken, and one is left. 2 women will be grinding at the mill, one is taken, and one is left. Watch therefore, for you do not know on what day your Lord comes. Matthew 24, 40-42. But know this, that if the householder had known in which watch the thief was coming, he would have watched and would not have allowed his house to be broken into. For this reason you also be ready, because at an hour when you do not expect it, the Son of Man is coming. Matthew 24, 43-44. Who then is the faithful and prudent slave, whom the master has set over his household to give them food at the proper time? Blessed is that slave whom his master, when he comes, will find so doing. Truly I say to you that he will set him over all his possessions. Matthew 24, 45 to 47. But if that evil slave says in his heart, "My master delays," and begins to beat his fellow slaves and eats and drinks with the drunken, the master of that slave will come on a day when he does not expect him, and at an hour which he does not know, and will cut him asunder, and appoint his portion with the hypocrites. In that place there will be the weeping and the gnashing of teeth. Matthew 24, 48 to 51. At that time, the kingdom of the heavens will be likened to 10 virgins, who took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. And 5 of them were foolish, and 5 were prudent. For the foolish, when they took their lamps, did not take oil with them, but the prudent took oil in their vessels with their lamps. And while the bridegroom delayed, they all became drowsy and slept. Matthew 25, 1 to 5. But at midnight there was a cry, "Behold, the bridegroom, go forth to meet him." Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their own lamps. And the foolish said to the prudent, "Give us some of your oil, for our lamps are going out." But the prudent answered, saying, "Perhaps there will not be enough for us and for you. Go rather to those who sell, and buy for yourselves." Matthew 25, 6 to 9. And as they were going away to buy, the bridegroom came, and those who were ready went in with him to the wedding feast, and the door was shut. And later the rest of the virgins came also, saying, "Lord, Lord, open to us." But he answered and said, "Truly I say to you, I do not know you." Matthew 25, 10 to 12. Watch therefore, for you do not know the day nor the hour. Matthew 25, 13. For the kingdom of the heavens is just like a man about to go abroad, who called his own slaves and delivered to them his possessions. To one he gave 5 talents, and to another 2, and to another 1, to each according to his own ability, and he went abroad. Immediately he who had received the 5 talents went and traded with them and gained another 5. Similarly, he who had received the 2 gained another 2. But he who had received the 1 went off and dug in the earth and hid his master's money. Matthew 25, 14 to 18. Now after a long time, the master of those slaves came and settled accounts with them. And he who had received the 5 talents came and brought another 5 talents, saying, "Master, you delivered to me 5 talents. Behold, I have gained another 5 talents." His master said to him, "Well done, good and faithful slave. You were faithful over a few things. I will set you over many things. Enter into the joy of your master." And he who had received the 2 talents also came and said, "Master, you delivered to me 2 talents. Behold, I have gained another 2 talents." His master said to him, "Well done, good and faithful slave. You were faithful over a few things. I will set you over many things. Enter into the joy of your master." Matthew 25:19-23. Then he who had received the 1 talent also came and said, Master, I knew about you, that you are a hard man, reaping where you did not sow, and gathering where you did not winnow. And I was afraid, and went off and hid your talent in the earth. Behold, you have what is yours. And his master answered and said to him, Evil and slothful slave, you knew that I reap where I did not sow, and gather where I did not winnow. Therefore you should have deposited my money with the money changers, and when I came, I would have recovered what is mine with interest. Take away therefore the talent from him, and give it to him who has the 10 talents. For to everyone who has, more shall be given, and he shall abound. But from him who does not have, even that which he has shall be taken away from him. And cast out the useless slave into the outer darkness. In that place there will be the weeping and the gnashing of teeth. Matthew 25:24-30. But when the Son of Man comes in his glory, and all the angels with him, at that time he will sit on the throne of his glory, and all the nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate them from one another, just as the shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. And he will set the sheep on his right hand, and the goats on the left. Matthew 25:31-33. Then the king will say to those on his right hand, Come, you who are blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me a drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. Naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came to me. Matthew 25:34-36. Then the righteous will answer him, saying, Lord, when have we seen you hungry, and have fed you, or thirsty, and have given you a drink? And when have we seen you a stranger, and have taken you in, or naked, and have clothed you? And when have we seen you sick, or in prison, and have come to you? And the king will answer and say to them, Truly I say to you, inasmuch as you have done it to one of these, the least of my brothers, you have done it to me. Matthew 25:37-40. Then he will say also to those on the left, Go away from me, you who are cursed, into the eternal fire prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was hungry, and you did not give me anything to eat. I was thirsty, and you did not give me a drink. I was a stranger, and you did not take me in, naked, and you did not clothe me, sick and in prison, and you did not visit me. Matthew 25:41-43. Then they also will answer, saying, Lord, when have we seen you hungry, or thirsty, or a stranger, or naked, or sick, or in prison, and did not minister to you? Then he will answer them, saying, Truly I say to you, inasmuch as you did not do it to one of the least of these, neither have you done it to me. And these shall go away into eternal punishment, but the righteous into eternal life. Matthew 25:44-46. But Jesus remained silent, and the high priest said to him, I charge you to swear by the living God, to tell us if you are the Christ, the Son of God. Jesus said to him, You have said rightly. Nevertheless I say to you, from now on you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of power, and coming on the clouds of heaven. Matthew 26, 63-64. The Book of Mark. For whoever is ashamed of me and of my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, the Son of Man also will be ashamed of him when he comes in the glory of his Father with the holy angels. Mark 8:38. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words shall by no means pass away. But concerning that day or hour, no one knows, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but the Father. Mark 13:31-32. But he was silent and did not answer anything. Again the high priest questioned him and said to him, "Are you the Christ, the Son of the Blessed?" And Jesus said, "I am, and you shall see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of power, and coming with the clouds of heaven." Mark 14:61-62. The Book of Luke. You also be ready, because at an hour when you do not expect it, the Son of Man is coming. Luke 12:40. And the Lord said, "Who then is the faithful and prudent steward, whom the master will set over his service, to give them their portion of food at the proper time? Blessed is that slave whom his master, when he comes, will find so doing. Truly I tell you that he will set him over all his possessions." Luke 12:42-44. But if that slave says in his heart, "My master is delaying his coming," and begins to beat the male servants and the female servants, and to eat and to drink and become drunk, the master of that slave will come on a day when he does not expect him, and at an hour which he does not know, and will cut him asunder, and will appoint his portion with the unbelievers. Luke 12:45-46. And that slave who knew his master's will, and did not prepare or do according to his will receive many lashes. But he who did not know, yet did things worthy of stripes, will receive few lashes. But to everyone to whom much has been given, much will be required from him, and to whom much has been committed, they will ask of him all the more. Luke 12:47-48. And he said to the disciples, "The days will come when you will long to see one of the days of the Son of Man, and you will not see it. And they will say to you, 'Behold, there! Behold, here!' Do not go away, nor run after them. For just as lightning flashing from one end of heaven shines to the other end of heaven, so will the Son of Man be in his day. But first he must suffer many things, and be rejected by this generation." Luke 17:22-25. And will not God by all means carry out the avenging of his chosen ones, who cry to him day and night, though he is long suffering over them? I tell you that he will carry out their avenging quickly. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man comes, will he find faith on the earth? Luke 18:7-8. And as they were listening to these things, he spoke further a parable, because he was near Jerusalem, and they supposed that the kingdom of God was to appear immediately. He said therefore, a certain man of noble birth went to a distant country to receive for himself a kingdom and to return. And he called 10 of his own slaves and gave them 10 minas. And he said to them, do business until I come. But his citizens hated him and sent an envoy after him, saying, we do not want this man to reign over us. Luke 19:11-14. And when he came back, having received the kingdom, he commanded that those slaves to whom he had given the money should be called to him, so that he might know what they had gained by doing business. And the first appeared, saying, Master, your mina has gained 10 minas. And he said to him, well done, good slave, because you have become faithful in the least, have authority over 10 cities. And the second came, saying, your mina, master, has made 5 minas. And he said to this one as well, and you be over 5 cities. Luke 19:15-19. And the other came, saying, Master, behold your mina, which I kept laid away in a handkerchief. For I was afraid of you, because you are a harsh man. You withdraw what you did not deposit, and you reap what you did not sow. He said to him, out of your mouth I will judge you, wicked slave. You knew that I am a harsh man, withdrawing what I did not deposit, and reaping what I did not sow. Why then did you not put my money in the bank? And when I came, I would have collected it with interest. And to those standing by he said, take the mina away from him, and give it to the one who has the 10 minas. And they said to him, Master, he has 10 minas. I tell you that to everyone who has, more shall be given, but from him who does not have, even that which he has shall be taken away. However, these enemies of mine who did not want me to reign over them, bring them here and slay them before me. Luke 19:20-27. And they will fall by the edge of the sword, and will be led captive into all the nations, and Jerusalem will be trampled by the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles are fulfilled. And there will be signs in the sun and moon and stars, and upon the earth anguish of nations in perplexity at the roaring of the sea and the billows, men fainting from fear and expectation of the things coming upon the inhabited earth, for the powers of the heavens will be shaken. And then they will see the Son of Man coming in a cloud, with power and great glory. And when these things begin to happen, stand erect and lift up your heads, because your redemption is drawing near. Luke 21:24-28. The Book of John. And he gave him authority to execute judgment, because he is the Son of Man. Do not marvel at this, for an hour is coming, in which all in the tombs will hear his voice, and will come forth, those who have done good, to the resurrection of life, and those who have practiced evil, to the resurrection of judgment. John 5:27-29. John 6:39-40. And this is the will of him who sent me, that of all which he has given me, I should lose nothing, but should raise it up in the last day. For this is the will of my Father, that everyone who beholds the Son and believes into him should have eternal life, and I will raise him up in the last day.